Welcome back to the Blood Bear channel. In this video, we will be continuing the reading and discussions of the Book of Genesis from the Bible. So yeah, I guess we just go ahead and jump on in. This is chapter 14. I think that's the one we're on. That's the one I did. So pretty sure that's right. So let's just, I guess, jump into this reading here. All right. At the time when Amraphel, was king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Kedor Laomer, king of Elam, and title king of Goyim. These kings went to war against Bera, king of Sodom, Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor. Let me scoot back a bit. All these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, the Dead Sea Valley. For 12 years, they had been subject to Kedorlaomer. These names, man, they get you every time. But in the 13th year, they rebelled. In the 14th year, Kedorlaomer, or however the hell you pronounce his name, and the kings allied with him went out to defeat the Rephaites and the Ashtaroth Karnaim, the Zuites in Ham, the Emites in Shaveh, Kiriathaim, and the Horites in all the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran, near the desert. They turned back and went to Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory of the Amalekites, as well as the Amorites, who were living in Hazon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Kedor Laomer, king of Elam, title king of Goyim, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elasar. 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the king of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away. So then they left. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. A man who escaped came and reported this to Abram, the Hebrew, and now Abram was living near the great trees of Mamre, the Amorite, and a brother of Eshcol and Anir, all of whom were allied with Abram. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought it brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people, after Abram returned from defeating Kedorlaomer. The kings allied with him, the king of Sodom, came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, as the king's valley. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. When Abram gave him a tenth of everything, the king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord, God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or a strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, I made Abram rich. I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten, and the share that belongs to the men who went with me to Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Memre. I don't know how to pronounce that. Let them have their share. So that's that chapter. Very interesting chapter. A lot more exciting than last chapter, to be honest. So we get a lot of history in this here chapter, with all the kings and kingdoms that they rule over, right? And that type of stuff. And then we also see another, like, Abram being blessed by Melchizedek, the king of Salem, who is a priest apparently. And yeah, which is, again, this is often shown throughout the Bible, as we will later see in the books to come. And maybe some more in this one. I can't really remember. There's just so much. But what God tends to do is give his people either fewer numbers or something like that against larger numbers, and then they end up winning. His people obviously end up winning. The people who are with God, right? They end up winning. And the reason I think it does that, to where it's usually they have less people, their armies are smaller, and they still win, is so that they know that, yeah, you won because you have my help, right? God's like, you won because you had me on your side, not because you're a large army with countless weapons and men to throw at your enemies. You won because I was there and I helped you. So I think that's why he tends to do that, is so that it's like, yes, we won because of God, not because we ourselves are a powerful nation. That's just my opinion on it, though. Other than that, there's not really that much to talk about in this chapter. It's mainly history. There's no moral teachings, and I don't think that there's archaeological proof of this stuff happening. I mean, we might have been able to, maybe we traced history. I don't know. We can find these kings. I'm not sure. I've never heard anything about it. Another thing is, I don't know what I'm saying. This does also, with what Abram says at the end to the king of Sodom, is also setting up not only fulfilling his, because it says, with raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord. So not only is he keeping his oath that he swore to God, but he's also in making sure that the king of Sodom can't say, I am the one who made Abraham rich, because I only took back the people and not the goods and I gave him all my wealth, right? Can't say that, which is good, because you don't want the king of Sodom to be able to say, it's like, oh, I'm the reason he's rich, not God, I am. I'm the one who gave him all of his wealth. We don't want that because, as we know, the king of Sodom, well, Sodom and Gomorrah turned into a place of sin and debauchery, and you don't want Abraham, who is a very important figure in not only to God, not only is he like the main person that God's giving attention to, and the covenant and promise, right? But so you don't want that to be what's the word? Like corrupted, I guess. It's what the word. I don't know. That's not the right word, but that's the one that came to mind. So this also kind of is setting up, especially with that promise that Abraham kept, is setting up, the eventual destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, which we will talk about whenever we get there. It also mentioned that Lot was staying in Sodom, that he was a resident there. So, also key information, because whenever God is thinking of destroying Sodom and Gomorrah because of the sins and the evil that's being done there, Abraham appeals to God to he's like, well, what if there's like one person that actually believes in you and is following you? Are you still going to destroy the entire city? And he says, and God's like, no, not even if there's one. We'll get into this probably whenever we read this chapter again. But God says that, and then he's like, okay, I will go get Lot and his wife, since they are like the only good people there, and then I will bring them out. Well, and then you can destroy this. And then God, please then destroy the city. Do what your will be done. Right? Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to talk about for that chapter. Very historical, like focuses a lot on the history of like this war that was happening, and whatnot. So, and it will set up, like most of this stuff, that's included in the Bible is all usually connected to other things. So yeah, anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Like always, I do implore that you go and read the Bible yourself, come to your own conclusions, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.